y'all are working out so much. Some of y'all are working out twice a day. You are killing yourselves. Glutes are so important. They're not just important because they look good in tights. Yes, they do look good in tights, but they're the biggest muscle in your lower body. They're supposed to be the thing that's moving you the most in this world. Unfortunately, we took it so far for so long that women think that that's all they are, is a big cardio bunny, you know, that if they can't go the hardest, the fastest, the longest in cardio, then somehow they're not fit.
I wanted the strength training again because I think in my mindset, I knew I needed strength training again for my mental health.
I feel like a badass when I lift barbell. I mean, I am a badass.
The big silence, empowering personal experiences, inspiring compassion, and healing lives. We are no longer silent. We are here.
The big silence.
Welcome to the podcast, Sandy Brockman.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
I know.
I feel like you totally ditched me like everyone else you asked to be on the podcast. And I was
You
like,
were
I'll
on the
never be on that podcast.
You were on the podcast last year at South by Southwest.
I know.
At Collective.
No, I know. It was very cool. No, I'm just kidding. But I love your podcast. It's
Thank you.
Very cool.
Well, I love you. And I'm so
thank
happy
you.
that we were having a girls' day with Lindsay a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
And
we
we
were.
were talking about this. And because number one, I just want to put this out here in the beginning that you're going to be in Women's Health magazine.
I am. Thank you. I am coming from the woman that has like many covers on Women's Health magazine. Like very famous covers. I'm very excited. I've always loved women's health.
Yeah.
It's always been a pinnacle for me. I mean, how lucky am I as a strength coach to actually be in it and have my programming in the magazine?
Yeah.
I get to share my message, and it's all because of
who you are.
who we know that we're helpful and understanding that strength training is important for women.
And I want to definitely dive into that. And before we get there too. So yes, those who are listening, Sandy is my friend.
Yes.
And my trainer.
Yes.
And we met through fitness.
Yes.
Which is basically how I meet most of my friends. And at a time when I needed to be reinvigorated in fitness.
Yes.
Sandy, I say Sandy is my therapist. But you really did help me. And we were introduced through another friend through hair.
Yeah.
And
makes sense though if you think about it.
Yeah, fitness and hair.
Fitness, hair.
We gotta look good, right?
I mean that's part of the deal.
Yeah. Yeah. And you were introduced to me, 2 years ago?
Yeah, it had to be over 2 years ago, I feel like a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how I found Collective as well.
I know. Well, I was so lucky because I didn't know you and you didn't know me.
Yeah.
And but you had told me a little bit when you reached out to me, and I thought as a personal trainer, even though it kind of gets a weird rap in this world now, it's supposed to be very personal. So when you came to me, I always felt so lucky just to the way that you had talked about your fitness journey. I didn't even know. I mean, I knew Tone It Up. I knew, but I didn't know exactly what I was going to do. And then when I saw you, I was like, oh, this is my new best friend for the rest of my life. And I get her and she gets me. I knew it. And I've worked with so many people over the years, and you were searching for something. Like, get me back in the game. I'm ready to go to because the thing in fitness is if you stay at the same thing for a long time, you get bored. That's a thing. It's like we do all get in fitness, my goal for all my clients is I want you to get to a level where you don't need me anymore because you're moving on to the next level or the next level. And so you were looking for that next level, and you came in and we started strength training.
Yeah.
And you've been killing it.
Well, I think that's the important thing when we're just talking about fitness is I've gone through the HIIT, the cardio, the triathlete, then just to like meditation and yoga. And I wanted the strength training again because I think in my mindset, I knew I needed strength training again for my mental health.
Yes.
So
yeah. So the thing is, and you tell me if I talk too much because
you always talk too much. It's great. I've been told in tests that I'm an oversharer.
Perfect. I love oversharers. No wonder we are best friends. I'm gripping this table like my life depends on it.
You're drinking gym weed, and
I am. I have gym weed at your gym. It's very good. Okay, so no, and the thing is, all right. So a little bit. Enough about you. A little bit about me.
Yes, yes, please.
No, I'm a weird female, and I tell everybody this. No, in my fitness journey. So when I was 15 years old, I wanted to look like the women on Muscle and Fitness. So if you ever seen Muscle and Fitness, it's the old Muscle mag. And these girls, when everyone else wanted to look like on Shape or on the other magazines, they wanted to be the thin. I wanted to look like. Now I don't know why. I have no idea that this put this in my head. But the first day I ever worked out, really, by myself, I walked into a YMCA weight room in Austin, Texas, with all men. I was 15 years old, and I had Muscle and Fitness with me, and I was going to do exactly what it said in the Muscle and Fitness, the workout. But I want to lift weights. So that's odd, especially in my generation, too, like coming from that.
Oh, absolutely.
So I worked my way through, like, lifting weights, got into powerlifting, which is also a very male-dominated sport. It's literally 3 lifts. It's a bench press, a deadlift, and a squat. But you have to perfect these 3 lifts for competition. And those 3 lifts are kind of like everything, right? Teaches you the hinge. It teaches you how to activate your lats. It teaches you how to be strong innately in your core. A lot. And I had to gain weight and get bigger while I was training. So imagine that paradigm shift for a woman.
Well, especially back then. I mean, I know when I grew up, it was Kate Moss was a waif, and you are skinny, but you wanted to lift weights.
I wanted to lift weights, and I wanted to be really fucking strong.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the masculine in me or feminine. I don't know. But I remember I was jealous of people that were really fucking strong. So now, I say that put me on a weird journey for where I am now, because a lot of women, like you said, especially back then, y'all weren't in dirty, nasty gyms with men, or no offense, man, I love y'all, but you know what I'm talking about. With no AC, you had coaches yelling at you. You had to get stronger every day. You had to eat. I was eating tuna fish in my car back then, out of the can.
I just want to say, you eat hard-boiled eggs on the gym floor.
I take hard-boiled eggs. I literally was trained how to eat protein for my weight.
Yeah.
To get fucking strong.
But do you think that's your background with your dad being in the military?
Maybe. I mean, my dad was was a warrant officer in the Army, but he always had to be very fit. And so I think that did rub off on me. Definitely, I like the Army aspect and pull-ups and all that stuff, push-ups. But I say all that to say, I went through all these weird situations that a lot of women don't go into. But what it taught me was that strength training is sort of everything. Now, do I love cardio and do I love HIIT and do I think it's fun? Yes. But once you've been to the top and you understand how important what strength training does, you see that's kind of low-hanging fruit. I like it more for the mental aspect of people. But for females, it's gonna move the needle slightly for a minute, but then it's gonna all catch up with you. So I had to be in this weird world of lifting with men every day and trying to get stronger to understand what women needed to do at a baseline to be where they didn't have to work out that's another thing. Women work out fucking all the fucking time. They work out. Oh, you're not? Oh, God. Okay, sorry. Yeah, you remember that part where I said I've been in a bunch of gyms with a bunch of men my whole life? But no, that women working out. Y'all are the hardest working women in America. I'm here to tell you, to praise to the God. Y'all are working out so much. Some of y'all are working out twice a day. You are killing yourselves. But if it helps women understand, you're being inefficient. So you know how we don't like to do anything inefficient? By doing that much work, you're actually making yourself have to do more work over a period of time. Strength training is so efficient that you could work out if I want to work out literally 2 days a week right now, 3 days a week, and maintain my strength, that's efficient.
What about cardio though?
Okay. Well, love it. Again,
for your cardiovascular health.
I think that I think that that's important. Through weight training, you get great cardiovascular health. And they've done a lot of studies to prove that it's a more of an anaerobic sort of state, but it's definitely, it can get you in the same cardiovascular shape as a runner, right? But you didn't you saved your face. You didn't go out in the sun all day with that wind burn and that run I see. You saved your joints. You saved your skin. You still are getting the same cardiovascular benefits, and instead of breaking down your muscle as you run, you're building up your muscle. So I get the point of the cardiovascular. Unfortunately, we took it so far for so long that women think that that's all they are, is a big cardio bunny, that if they can't go the hardest, the fastest, the longest in cardio, then somehow they're not fit. And I say, all I want is 30 minutes of endurance in my back pocket. And I tell everybody that. I want to be able, if my daughter wants to go run 3 miles, I don't know, it's a 9-minute pace. What's stupid?
Can you do that?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, I thank you very much. I could do that and maintain that, by the way, through just weight training. I don't have to do it. I do it to test every once in a while, but I like to have 30 minutes. More than 30 minutes isn't going to really help me that much. It's really not. It's going to just stack on top of a good lungs and heart that I already have, and maybe stress them slightly. So I like to have 30 minutes, test that every once in a while. I also like to have a mile a little bit fast. So if you told me, let's go run a mile as fast as we can, I want to still be a little bit fast in that mile. So a 3 mile, a 1 mile, and then the strength, that's all I really want to have as far as that's sort of my pivotal points, right? Because everything else on top of that is I'm not an ultra marathoner. I'm not someone who needs to have this great car. I just need to outrun you.
Oh, I'm sure you can outrun me.
I need to listen, you just have to outrun one person from a bear to live, or I want to outrun anybody. So I keep that in. So I obviously dabble in cardio, and I think it feels good. And I think the sweat feels good. And I think it is important to nourish all your cells and energy. So like I told you, when I do it, I want women to do it. I want them to do it thinking about it as less important as strength training.
Yeah. So I think I coined booty by Brockman. I don't know, but you are the glute goddess.
I am. I don't even know how that happened, but.
But that's the aesthetic, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
But and anyone who's looking at Women's Health magazine and your 6-week program.
Yes, 6-week program, Glute Challenge.
Yeah. Like that is real. I have had my masseuse who comes to the house who's
oh, y'all, you've made it when people think your butt is fake. Like that means that, oh my God, I grew my glutes so big that the gossip is that they're fake.
Yeah.
And I hate that but it is sort of, for me, as someone who had no glutes. So I need to.
You're 5'10" for those listening. 5'10",
and
same as me.
Built like Betty Spaghetti, like have long legs, have long arms, have a long torso. Not a good candidate for a great ass, right? You don't see a lot of 5'10" girls walking around with a huge ass. That's just not genetically what we look like. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to take, like I was talking, my background, right? Mm-hmm. All of these days I spent in gyms, all the perfect form I had to learn, all the understanding of muscle hypertrophy that I had to learn, which is also delving into a bodybuilder world. So a power lifter is more on strength and just overall strength. A bodybuilder world is how to grow your muscle. Bodybuilders aren't always the strongest people in the room, but they understand how to grow a muscle. And so those are so you got strength skills and you got hypertrophy skills, right? They are like in Women's Health, we were talking about it, and strength and hypertrophy are sisters, but they are not twins, even though they sort of look like it. So in this glute challenge, they gave me 6 weeks. Do you want me to go over it or not? Yeah, tell me, or I'll just go off.
Oh, you have to go to womenshealth.com.
Yes, you have to go to womenshealth.com.
We'll put the link on how to join in the show notes.
Because, obviously, but what I want them, and I think this is, They gave me a great opportunity to write a 6-week program that has and it is done right. That's what I like about it. Women's Health said, let's do this right. They didn't say, let's slap up a 2-week grow your butt program. No.
Mm-mm.
6 weeks is enough time for me to see a change. They let me write a 3-day-a-week glute workout. So you're doing this workout for 6 weeks, 3 times a week. Okay. You're going to repeat, there's 15 movements within the 6 weeks. You're going to repeat those movements over and over and over and over.
That's so interesting too, because you're like, when we work out, it's basics, back to basics.
Yes. But going back to strength and hypertrophy for people that love that language, that's a love language. Is strength and hypertrophy for a lot of these podcaster people. So I wrote it's sort of like a 4-week strength cycle. So I want women to get stronger in their lower body. This is all glute, but glute lower body, right? I want women to get stronger in those 4 weeks. So we go into the progressive overload principle. You do go heavier. And then we take that and we move it into a hypertrophy cycle and blend the two. So it's the basics done right with correctives in it. So correctives is for your hips. And correct so that you can get
like
in the
mobility?
Right mobility. Yeah. I call them correctives because you do them with glute activation stuff.
Yeah.
But so it's like a corrective, and you're actually using your mind muscle connection with your glutes. But anyway, say all that to say, you can have this program for the rest of your life. And if you did this 3 times a week for glute, if you wanted to keep your glutes maintained, which are so important. So if we can you want to talk about glute importance?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
take it away, Sandy. Take it away.
If you need to block all of that out because it's like proprietary, let me know. For women's health, I have no idea. Okay.
I don't know. I'm not your attorney.
Right. I don't even have one, but I don't think I said no, I think they would love it because, gosh, it really is. And I'm not to my own horn. It's a badass program.
No, yeah. Well, look at your ass. Okay. I've never been an ass girl at all. I'm not one. But I will say, being 5'10" and going back to the pancake, but it's those certain tips of engaging, and we don't have to.
Well, let me tell you, I'm the exact opposite of you. I have always been an ass girl. Going back to muscle and strength, I know when a girl or guy has strong glutes. I'm talking round. I'm talking. We got medius, we got max, we got the whole situation. That person is strong. And going back to, I wanted to be strong, innately strong. I'm not innately strong, so I had to make myself. And I knew that represented in the fitness world a next level. It's something different. It means that you have an innate, that if you see the best athletes in the world, they have the best glutes.
Yeah.
So I always felt like I needed to catch up there.
Yeah. And what is the one important thing you would say? I would say feed the booty.
Yes.
Women, let's talk 2024.
Yes.
Women in health and fitness and what we need. We need protein and we need calories.
Yes.
So let's talk about that, because women have, again, from our generations, been afraid of all of that.
It's so crazy, y'all. Well, let me go back really fast. So talking about you were a glute girl. So I always brought everything up pretty well in my body. I thought my body, or as far as aesthetically looking or whatever, my glutes were always the problem. And I always blamed it on my long legs. And I said, well, I'm not really built to have, excuses. And then one day I said, no more. You fooled yourself long enough. How do you grow these damn glutes? Let's figure it out. And so no coach they kept telling me, oh yeah, Brockman, you did heavy reverse lunges. Oh yeah, Brockman. What they didn't know is that as females in particular don't engage their glutes well because of usually our hips are tight. We've had some kind of situation happen with our pelvis. Something is not actively engaging our glutes, where a lot of men are in weight rooms engaging their glutes most of their life. So when they tell you to engage your glutes, they think we understand what you mean. Women don't understand what you mean. They actually don't understand what you mean. Engage my glutes. You know how hard it is when I make you engage your glutes. It's like the hardest thing you ever did. Yeah. And we just turn them off all day. But okay, go ahead.
But then I'm just saying, I was going to say, I you keep telling me that. And then I know, like, I'm literally sitting here engaging my...
I'm squeezing my butt right now.
And
10 times on my right. That's my other right. And
like sometimes when I wake up at night in the middle of the night, I'm like...
Because you're afraid they're going to go back to sleep, even though like people have a big controversy. Come talk to me on these podcasts about all these controversies. It's all been said and done before. Everyone's just trying to hype up the same thing that's already been hyped up. The thing is with, they say that they don't like, what do they call it when your glutes go to sleep?
Atrophy?
No. Well, atrophy, yes, is a great word. Dead butt syndrome.
Oh.
So dead butt syndrome is a thing. Just like everything, everyone likes to make it a controversy. It's not really. It means that you're just never in brain contact with your glutes. And a lot of women stop making contact with their glutes because it's uncomfortable. It's like really hard to do. And so I say all that to say, I figured out from scratch. So I need to show before pictures how to grow my glutes. And that took me in the lab, Sandy's lab, figuring out my hips, figuring out why I'm internally rotated, adjusting my body to put myself in positions to actually grow my glutes, and then understanding what it looks like and feels like to stretch the muscle and contract the muscle. And that's what I do with you girls. But the other thing about that is I could lay the best glute program out for everyone. Mm. And by the way, really fast, glutes are so important. They're not just important because they look good in tights. Yes, they do look good in tights, but they're the biggest muscle in your lower body. They're supposed to be the thing that's moving you the most in this world. And women are using their back, their quads, their hamstrings, their adductors, everything else but their glutes. And after a while, those glutes say, F you, and they just go away. And when they go away, so does your good hormone levels. So does your good feeling. So do your good, you look more, the less muscle mass you have in those big muscle groups, that you're just not going to feel well mentally or physically.
Yeah, let's take it down that path now that we're going there. Mental health and muscle. Your thoughts on that?
I think it's everything. I think that muscle is so important. Like we were just talking about with glutes. If you think about it, the composition of muscle is really cool, right? So it's the best way I think of muscles. I think of a fish, which is kind of gross. But you know how they're all muscle? They just go through the water. They're strong and compact and efficient. And they just can float there and they're just fucking cool. And then fat's just all kind of gross, you know? And it's like, it's no help. It kind of lets off a bunch of toxic shit off of it because it's like a heap of, right? Where muscle is helping your body and your brain. If you're helping your body and your blood and your metabolism, it's obviously changing your brain. I mean, it's got to be helping your brain metabolism. The thing is, they've never done real good studies on that. I mean, I've never seen one. I'm sure they have, but the muscle mass, like mental health connection.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
The MH connection. Lean muscle mass. Yeah.
Let's do that study. Anyone listening? Like, let's do a study.
Yeah, does anyone want we need to do a study.
Yeah.
That'd be badass.
That.
Yeah.
I mean, I just look at lifting weights for me and feeling stronger is what makes me healthy mentally.
Yeah. And feeling stronger like inside where you're like innately strong, or is it just you're taking care of yourself? That's what I always wonder. I'm asking you the questions now. Switch the tables. Go ahead, Karena.
I have been in the fitness industry for a very long time. For me, where I'm at in my life, mentally strong.
Okay.
Lifting weights and saying I can do this, or just working out. Like I literally, I don't work out for the aesthetic, but for me at this point and season of my life, it's working out to mentally feel good.
Well, the thing is, I love that because, and it's something that I think I have not thought about in a long time, but, I was kind of joking, but I'm not, where you take a little bit of I feel like a badass when I lift barbell. I mean, I am a badass. I'm a fucking surgeon with the barbell. Like, let's go. Like I get it's something empowering that makes you feel like, hey, like I can do if I can do this, Like it goes off into your real world.
Well, that's one of the things you said when we first met was what we do here in fitness is what that gives us the strength to go out there and do the real shit.
And I've always said that. The gym is where you practice. You can fuck up in the gym. You can you can be a hero in the gym. That's where you practice for the real world. You can vomit. You can run so hard. You know what I mean? Like that's practice. So you build that resilience inside. That's why a lot of times I'll make people go a little bit harder than they want to. And it's not because I needed them to go harder than they wanted to. I needed them to know that they could. So when they're out in the real world, they know that, oh God, this is really hard. I cannot go. But I remembered that fucking Coach Sandy made me do like 3 more reps and I did it. And like, they won't think that, but they'll remember that they can go hard because I told them they could go hard and they didn't want to and they did it.
I think that's one of my favorite things about you is number one, that quote. And then I always talk about this, how when I was reaching out to you because I wanted to change my fitness and get back and start loving it again.
Yes, loving it again. That's a good way to put it.
Wanting to do it. And you're like, just drive to the gym. We can sit on the couch.
Yes.
I'm like, I'm not just going to drive. Okay, I can do that. I can get in my car and I can drive to the gym.
Yeah.
But once I get there, you're going to be motivated.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. Well, the thing is, like, I knew this. Okay, so just like I need women to slow down from the constant cardio, because just in strength training, if you go fast, you lose. Unlike cardio and HIIT, if you go fast, you win. So strength, but that also, so I know when I'm about to take someone on new, and it's going to be, we're working strength, and I'm not letting you just come in and do bebop around from machine to machine to machine. You're going to, your brain had to be in it.
Mm-hmm.
So creating the habit was the most important thing for me. Just coming up there, getting you driving in your car there is part of the habit. And that's all I needed.
Yeah. And I think that's really good too, is talking about creating habits. And even for someone who, like myself and you kind of lose those habits and coming back in, but creating those little micro steps to create the habit again. And little steps. I think it's really important for anyone listening, like those little steps, because then myself as a science test, I was like, oh, wait, when I go to bed tonight, I actually am looking forward to getting up in the morning and working out again.
I know. And I think it's the first step. If you can take that first step into the gym, or you can take that first step into your car, you can take that first step into your own home gym. And what I fear is that women put so much pressure on themselves to make it happen again. Oh, I was this fit when I was 30 and now I'm not. It's tiny how you start. It's tiny. It's literally, I do it still myself when I need more motivation. I go and I have to do 30 minutes of some dinky thing in my garage. And it's like, okay, I did a dinky thing for 30 minutes, right? That just like, it broke the seal, right? And it didn't have to be a big thing. So as long as you can, like, you knew, like, you thought I was going to make it a big thing. I didn't make it a big thing. So you thought next time I can go, it won't be a big thing again.
But you were so gentle with it. Where like, someone's like, oh, I know y'all know this. I can't go to the gym until I'm in shape to go to the gym.
Oh, yes.
I can't go to the gym until I know I can compare myself to everyone else there that is working out.
And nobody cares. That's why I've worked in gyms for so long. Y'all, nobody cares. Like, I swear to God, nobody cares if it's your first day in the gym or your best day in the gym. Everyone's looking at themselves. So if you think that anybody cares and you're scared to step the foot in a gym, trust me, nobody is looking. They're all looking at themselves. I've been working there way too long. I know how this works. But, and I really, and so I have to step back sometimes because a lot of women will say to me, that, and then they'll say, I don't know where to start. It feels so scary to me to walk into a gym or like a barbell platform or whatever. Like, I don't even know where to start, and everyone's going to make fun of me and I'm going to do it wrong and all that stuff. Nobody cares, A. And then B, but I do forget, because I've been around lifting weights for so long, that women are intimidated by it. It's still happening so much. I felt like we kind of like washed it out, like maybe, I don't know, 20 years ago. But no, women are still very intimidated about going into the gym. And I really want to change that for them because it's hindering our progress mentally and physically by not doing that strength training. So every time you choose the treadmill again, because you're too embarrassed to go on the floor to pick up those weights.
You know how to walk, so you're on the treadmill.
You're on the treadmill, but it's too scary to go over there. I really want to help women not be scared to go over there.
Yeah. Well,
and my hope is to do basic things a lot. So you master the basics. And once you master the basics, you can do it with a blindfold on, right? So you're never worried about looking weird. And then we can get a little fancy. But
protein.
Yeah, we were talking about protein. I didn't forget either. Our brains work alike. I had it like the whole time we were talking. I was like, don't forget about protein. Okay, so this is what I tell everybody. Okay, another thing I hate for fitness for women is, and I hate to say women, I'm not generalizing all women, so I don't want anyone to think that. But it's my experience over a very long time of training. Okay, like 30 years of training in and out, personal training women. And men, I've trained a lot of men too, but they're a whole nother category story.
You're like women focused, which I love.
But now I am now. But it's funny because a lot of men will hear this and they think of me as Coach Brockman, and I train a lot of men. I mean, I've trained NFL players, ex-NFL players. But the thing is, where y'all need me the most is the women. Y'all need me the most to tell you that, okay, if you like the way I look, awesome. I'm so glad you do, because that's awesome. But I'm also, I have a lot of muscle mass for a woman my age.
Okay.
We have to talk. Okay, we're not talking about I don't.
Whenever I tell my friends, family, your age, they're like, "What?
Oh, I'm so vain. It's so bad." No, I know. No, you know why? I think, and we talked about this.
We talked about it yesterday working out.
I'm sure it's like a reflex for me. I have no doubt.
Well, because we grew up in the generation that we did about it was weird shit.
I know.
And then we grew up in the fitness industry,
which is
where you were critiqued enormously.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I was in Muscle and Fitness magazine.
Oh, you were?
Yeah. But you know what? The people were pointing fingers at me while I was running on a treadmill because I had cellulite.
Oh, no.
And I'm like in my 20s. But anyways, we come from a generation where we don't talk about age.
Yes.
We don't talk about
You're
this.
right.
And so now we're finally speaking up. Like, I'm 43.
Yeah.
Proud.
I'm 52.
Yes.
Well, I'm not 52. I'm 51. I'll be 52 in July. What do I keep saying older? No, but exactly. But you know what? It's so crazy because the thing is I really never cared about my age. I did. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it. But what I'm saying is I knew that I was I'm a better coach than most 20-year-olds. And in the fitness industry, you get viewed as a female sort of for your age. Not the males, not so much. You could be 80 years old and with a cigar out there screaming at people, and they love it. Women, it's a little bit different, especially in the strength industry and where it's mainly male. But I didn't want to be put in a box. And I feel like, and I'm worried for some women that when you tell your age, it puts you in a box. I don't know what that box exists of. I don't know what people want to think about the box. So I wanted to stay out of the box. But then people kept wanting to know. And now I realize, hey, Sandy, if you're going to help women and really help women like you want to do and get them into strength training, then you better fucking be honest. And not that I ever lied. It's, me. All right, just don't say it.
I've lied about my age in the past.
I've actually never, I just never say it. No, but then you better get on board.
Yeah.
Because you got a lot to say. You got a lot to say about strength training is the fountain of fucking youth. Don't even think that a serum or a this or a cold plunge or a hot bath or a this or a peptide in your brain is going to do as much for you as a female as aging as strength training.
I think we're going to call this episode "And Back to Protein."
Oh, okay. Back to protein. Okay. So yes. And then you better teach them how to grow old and stay fucking rockin' strong.
Yeah.
And for real, not like a silly thing. Have glutes, have a strong lower back, have good knees. You better step up. And then, so that's what I've decided that it doesn't even matter anyway. I mean, who cares? And menopause is boring. I'm not going through it. I mean, with all the new HRT, like all the hormone replacement therapy that's out there now. I mean, I'm not in it now, not that it mattered if I was, but I'm saying that thank God all these leaps and bounds are happening for women, that we don't have to suffer through all that bullshit anymore.
Yeah.
They're starting to understand that women, they've been putting men on testosterone forever, that they're starting to understand that women also need to be walked through this perimenopause, menopause. It starts at 35, it can. And our hormones also have to be replenished.
Yeah, I'm glad you bring that up.
Yeah.
And then back to protein.
Well, that's really big strength. That'll be hey, y'all, stay tuned for the protein. See, it's like a catch.
Yeah. It's our little dangle.
People left like 80 minutes ago.
I was going to say that was one of the community questions. Talk about perimenopause and workouts.
Yes. Oh my, it's everything. But don't waste all your workouts on cardio, please. If you're wasting your because perimenopause sucks. And it's like all these weird things happen to you. And so many weird things happen to your brain. Yeah. So what they're finding out is like, and not only are we suffering like weird body symptoms, which I have always maintained through strength training, that I've done pretty well through. And I've always attributed that to my working out and the strength training. But what I couldn't attribute is, why do I have all this anxiety all of a fucking sudden? Why do I feel like I'm having a panic attack when I never feel like, and these weird things happening with my brain. I have I think I told you a long time ago, I have a good brain. I love my brain. So if I can't rely on my brain anymore to be clear and concise like it normally is, and what I realize is that's part of the perimenopause. And that's why you have to get on your hormone if you can. Now, some people cannot. And then strength training becomes even more important, because you want as much lean muscle mass on your body to create all the good hormones for you that you can. But if you can get a little HRT going, then your brain can start to be normal again. It needs estrogen. It needs all that. It needs progesterone. It needs all that stuff. And we just, let's just let it go dry, and then we'll act like we're going crazy. You know what I mean? Like, that's what people have been doing to us.
That is very true. I will even say,
it.
Memory, like, I have a very good memory.
Yes.
But I went through.
Yeah, you do have a good memory. Yeah. But you went through a phase where.
Yeah. I didn't, and even Bobby was like.
Where you kind of like are talking in the middle of talking to something and you forget what you're saying. Yeah. That too. Yeah.
Well, I'm in menopause.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Well, I forget. See, isn't that great that I forget?
Yeah. Like, who cares? Like, hey, I'm female.
All it means is that you had a certain number of eggs and those are out. It doesn't change anything else about you. Not a thing.
Exactly. Yeah. And isn't that so weird too? And even I feel like, gosh, how much time? I got 5 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
All I got to be on. But oh my God, let's go into these stereotypes of men against women who have all of these perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause.
Oh my gosh. Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. I am so fucking over it, y'all. I can't believe how long women have been suffering with all these. Our poor mothers had hot flashes. They thought they were losing their minds. They had all these awful, and you have all this visceral fat that comes on.
Oh my God. Yeah. I didn't know, like, I'm still working on, like, my body is back, but like going through menopause.
Yes.
Like,
it's so hard on your body.
Yeah.
And like women will be working out the exact same amount that they were working out.
Mm-hmm.
Not a thing has changed. So let's say they were even being perfect and they were doing my 6-week challenge and they were, and they were lifting their weights, right? Doing their correct, they can gain fat in their middle, even though they didn't change one thing. Mm-hmm. They were doing great, and it's just because of the hormone shifts.
Yeah.
So, like, women are, and then they think they're losing their mind. Oh, why did I just gain, like, all this visceral fat around my middle, but I haven't changed a thing? Mm-hmm. Like, that's going on because no one ever cared that women were in perimenopause. It makes me so mad. And I remember my mom had breast cancer. So I was told a long time ago, if you even get near estrogen, you're getting breast cancer tomorrow. You know what I mean? They scared you to death because they said, once you get into this menopause, it's done. Now you have all these smart doctors coming in, these women doctors that are saying, absolutely not. We are not going through this. And they are sounding the alarm. And I'm so happy because so much stuff goes down in our bodies, and we're just all supposed to be like, this is fine.
I know.
I guess this
we
is
need
fine.
to speak more about that.
It's
and
really scary. It's because we hate to look like we're older. Yeah. Like, I don't know why, but not me. I mean, obviously me, but, no, but I'm saying like, I know. And I really relate to it because it's like, for some reason, this thing about menopause is like, you're not like a woman anymore or whatever.
That's what I was, like, your eggs are gone.
Let's be real honest, y'all. Just because like we're born with a certain amount of eggs and then they're depleted, that doesn't change. Like, again, that doesn't change anything about us. It's just science that they would eventually run out. Sperm just keeps remaking itself. So that's why they never run out. We don't know what's going on with those sperm anymore, but like as they get older. But anyway, I'm just saying to say that, I forgot to see. There's the Perry.
Protein.
Oh, protein. Y'all know when I did that way. But no, it's so important. Strength training is everything. And your bone density. I could go on. We should have a whole show about that.
Can we?
Yes, because I could talk about bone density and strength training and like all this stuff that we need to talk about. And it has so much to do with your brain. And they should be tied together intrinsically all the time. They are twins. Your brain health and your whatever perimenopause you're in, and to stop and the second thing is stop thinking that it's like a bad thing. We're not doing it anymore. We're not listening to men that put us in a baby in a corner. Oh yeah, you're out of the gene line or whatever bullshit. We're right back in, and and now we're not having kids, so we can get a lot of shit done. We're not barefoot in the kitchen with those. I mean, I have 2 kids. I know I wasn't barefoot in the kitchen, but like, I mean, we can get shit done now. We just need our brains. Thank you. Okay, protein.
I'm sorry. Our time has run out here.
Oh my God. They are going to cut so many things.
No, I don't edit them.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Oh, you should.
No.
Okay, protein. Y'all don't even start. Protein is also so important. I tell women, I said it earlier in the show, bodybuilders figured out hypertrophy a long time ago. There's no new news. Back in San Marcos, Texas, at a powerlifting gym, little Sandy was sitting there with her tuna cans every 3 hours in the car. It's 20 to 25 grams of protein every 3 hours throughout the day until you get at least 1 gram per your body weight. And that's a low number. People go higher. I don't need you to go higher. If you weigh 130, you get in 130 grams of protein a day. It doesn't have to be a steak. It doesn't have to be something disgusting. I don't love to eat tons of meat either. I eat hard-boiled eggs standing over my clients. Because 3 egg whites, yeah, it's disgusting. But I have to do it to keep this butt. You have to eat protein if you want to keep your muscle on. Or it's like wasting. It's such a waste. If you do not eat protein, it's such a waste. So I have like 3, the egg whites or whatever, and then some yolk. And then I have 2 Greek yogurts, which equals 24 grams of protein. Then
do you like cottage cheese?
Sure. If you can.
It's trending. I just found out from Deb it's trending.
And do the low fat. I don't do I don't care about low fat that much. Like always, but as much as like our generation was all about the low fat. But do with the cottage cheese. Love cottage cheese. Oh, cottage cheese with like a couple of...
It's trending right now. Do you know like cottage cheese toast is trending for
that
summer?
Sounds kind of gross, Luke. Don't put it on toast. Just put some blueberries in it. Like, go.
Okay.
Okay. And if you're feeling real naughty, put like a little potato chips on the top. But anyway, 25 grams of protein every 3 hours, 5 times a day. Bodybuilders figured it out so long they keep trying to rewrite the script. People keep reading about it. Women for every age, you've got to be eating your protein. I figured it out a long time ago. It's a cheat. If you really want to make a difference in the way your body looks and feels, protein is the cheat. Strength training and protein. It sounds like it's a man thing, but women need it even more than men. It's just been marketed the wrong way for years. So we're bringing it back. Okay.
Whoa.
Yay!
All right, oh my gosh. Sandy Brockman, where do we find you?
Okay, I have a dinky little Instagram called @Sandy_Brockman Fitness. Yeah, Desiree's gonna help me. And I let's see, dinky little. Okay, that's all I have. We'll put and women's health. Women's health. So women's health. It's going to be huge. It's a 6-week glute challenge. It has 3 workouts a week. So do them on, not on direct days if you can't. So like, I'm hoping most people can do them like Monday, Wednesday, Friday for 6 weeks. It's my masterpiece. I am in love with this workout. I've been doing it myself over and over and over. And I could just
I've seen how you train your clients. I'm just saying, y'all don't know, Sandy's clients in Austin are the hottest women in Austin.
Well, they're smart women.
Yeah.
So they know that they want to look good. And they know that they figured strength training out was the way to do it.
Yeah.
And so they're not dumb. And they knew they had to learn it right. And so that's what I love about them. They're hot as shit, but they're smart. Like you knew how to do strength training. Yeah. You knew it. Like your brain was like, okay, stop fooling yourself. You need to get back into strength training. And so that's how that works. And you, like you said, and then you get really strong mentally, and then you're strong body and mind. And that's unstoppable.
We have to have you back here because I have so many questions.
That's what you say to everybody, I bet.
No.
Oh, okay.
Only
good.
you.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, let's do it. We'll have so much fun.
The big silence. The big silence.